Okay, we're in Maccabees 1, chapter 6. First Maccabees, chapter 6, verse 1. It says, About the time that Antiochus traveling through heard the high countries heard say that Elamias, Elamias in the country of Persia was a city greatly renowned for riches, silver, and gold, and that there was in it a very rich temple wherein were coverings of gold and breastplates and shields, with Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian king, who reigned first among the Grecians, had left there. Wherefore he came and sought to take the city and to spoil it, but he was not able, because of the city, because they of the city having and warning thereof rose up against him in battle. So he fled and departed thence with great heaviness and returned to Babylon. It says, Moreover, there came one who brought him tidings into Persia that the armies which went against the land of Judea were put to flight. It says, And that Lysias, who fought first with great power, was driven away of the Jews, and that they were made strong by the armor and power and the store of spoils which they had gotten of the armies whom they had destroyed. Also, they had pulled down the abomination which he had set up upon the altar in Jerusalem, and that they had compassed about the sanctuary with high walls, as before, and his city Bethshura. It says, Now when the king heard these words, he was astonished and sore moved, whereupon he laid him down upon his bed and fell sick for grief, because it had not befallen him as he looked for. And there he continued many days, for his grief was ever more and more, and he made an account that he should die. It says, Wherefore he called for all his friends and said unto them, The sleep is gone from mine eyes, and my heart faileth for very care. And I thought with myself, Into what tribulation I come, and how great a flood of misery is it, wherein now I am. For I was bountiful and beloved in my power, but now I remember the evils that I did at Jerusalem, and that I took all the vessels of gold and silver that were therein, and sent to destroy the inhabitants of Judea without cause. I perceive therefore that for this cause these troubles are come upon me, and behold, I perish through great grief in a strange land. It says, Then called he for Philip, one of his friends, whom he made ruler over all his realm, and gave him the crown and his robe and his signet, to the end that he should bring up his son Antiochus and nourish him up for the kingdom. So King Antiochus died there in the 149th year. It says, Now when Lysias knew that the king was dead, he set up Antiochus, his son, whom he had brought up being young, to reign in his stead, and his name was called Eputor. About this time they that were in the tower shut up the Israelites round about the sanctuary, and sought always their hurt and the strengthening of the heathen. Wherefore Judas, proposing to destroy them, called all the people together to besiege them. So they came together and besieged them in the 150th year, and he made mounts for shot against them and other engines. It says, howbeit certain of them that were besieged got forth, unto whom ungodly men of Israel joined themselves. It says, and they went into the king and said, how long would it be ere thou execute judgment and avenge our brethren? We have been willing to serve thy father, and to do as he would have us, and to obey his commandments, for which they of our nation besiege the tower, and are alienated from us. Moreover, as many as of us they could light on, they slew, and spoiled our inheritance. Neither have they stretched out their hand against us only, but also against all their borders. And behold, this day are they besieging the tower at Jerusalem to take it. The sanctuary also and Bethshura have they fortified. Wherefore, if thou dost not prevent them quickly, they will do greater things than these. Neither shalt thou be able to rule them. Now, when the king heard this, he was angry, and gathered together all his friends and the captains of his army, and those that had charge of the horse. There came also unto him other kingdoms, and from isles of the sea bands of hired soldiers. I call on Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Call on Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. First and foremost, I'm going to say Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash, the great Ali Shaddai of Israel, the great I Am, the possessor of heaven and earth, the spirits of heaven and earth, and giving much respect to his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, the Adonai, the Hamashiach, the light of this world, the one who died for Israel and rose to sit to become his father's royal right arm, my Redeemer, my Comforter, and my salvation, and the only one that plead his blood over Israel, the only nation granted for a salvation. Giving respect to great millstone, the high apostles that the Most High put here on this earth to get us prepared for the great times and tribulation ahead, and to wake us up. Shout out to great millstone, and much respect and much honor to the Akim, the men that are in the Word, that may not be from great millstone, but you know, they push the word and they listen to all great millstones lessons, you know, and they respect them, and they risk their freedom in their life to do so, to give us the word as well. Such brothers like me and other brothers, you know, like my top teachers that are not in the word, but you know, not in the word, but that are not a part of great millstone, but they pretty much are in the spirit, as like King Yahawah the Maccabees and Iwam, Ibad, strong, tough brothers that are in the word. Much respect to them. Much respect to the Aqua, the beautiful women that are in the word. And regardless if you got a man or not, you still fear the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahawah, and you learn in silence. Shalom. And coming back to you through the spirit and power and understanding of Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, in the name Yahweh Shai. Much respect to the Holy Father and his only begotten Son for even allowing us to even get this far, me to get this far, other brothers to get this far, to see the end of days, to see the downfall of our enemies, and to see the destruction of these nations and the last days on the earth. Now, the subject for today is war, because war is coming, and it's best to get you suited and well armed for these events that are coming upon the earth, because there will be a lot of war, and there'll be a lot of destruction, a time of destruction that has never been seen before on the planet, and it's going to be great and very powerful, and it will shake you to your core if you're not prepared. You know, so I was reading a story about how the Edomites was attacking Judah, and the cold part about it is that the 2/3 that were there back then, which were the sellouts and the niggas that want to be a part of the white man kingdom, they was helping them, trying to defeat Judah, but they couldn't defeat Judah, and they couldn't defeat the Israelites because the Israelites were just too powerful, and they were overthrowing them back then. You know, so you know, everybody hates a house nigga, so they ended up slaughtering them too in the story. But you know, the whole story is about war. You know what I'm saying? And it's a declaration of war. So, just to get you ready for the stability, ready for the times that are ahead, and to arm you with the word and to get you prepared. That way, you can't say that, the prophets and those of us that follow them, you know what I'm saying, small time prophets or however you want to call us, we didn't tell you the shit that was going on. Right now you got a lot of talk about power food plants being burnt up, different plagues that are being distributed, strange storms that are taking out certain things that are important, tactical movements from the government, is just as well as other nations that are all setting the stage for us in our great tribulation. Because, like it said in the Apocrypha, that all the nations will draw together because of the Edomites, and they will go against the children of Israel, and they will destroy them. So the same thing that happened in the past is the same thing that's happening now, but the only thing that's different is that Israel will win through the power and spirit of Yahawah Bashim Yahushai, in the name of Yahushai, and they won't the elect, as wise that I'm talking about, because in these days it's going to hit so hard, because right now the main thing is the collapse is like the elephant in the room. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody notices an elephant in the room. And a lot of people are very unwary. They don't really want to notice the obvious and the things that are going on. So right now, as we would have it, it's very, very bad, because they're not going to be ready for the impact that's coming. And the retarded thing about it is that they're going to be mad at us for telling them what's going on, instead of them going against the enemy. They're going to be mad at us. Like, why did you do that? How did you do that? And you guys must have planned all of this. And, they can consider it some sort of terrorist attack, but how is it going to be a terrorist attack when it was from Yahawah, from the Lord, from the one whom you call God, which you got the name wrong, is Yahawah by Shem Yahushai. The Lord did all of this, So people are not going to be able to understand when God, God, I know God's true name, so I can call him that, Yahawah. When God starts taking away your food, your water, your merchandise, your money, your family, and then he could even come for your life. So y'all not understanding just how much of a monster, Yahawah is. Well, he can be. He's not a monster, but he'll seem like some sort of monster or demon towards his people, because they don't want to come back. So we can read some more of this warfare that's going on, because this is the whole subject of the story. It says, because Esau is coming down with that great wrath, because his time is short. His time is real short. He has to hurry up and do what he has to do, and the Most High is going to come and obliterate him. It says, so that the number of his army was 100,000 footmen, and 20,000 horsemen, and 32 elephants exercised in battle. It says, these went through Idumea, which is Greece, and pitched against Bethshura, which they assaulted many days, making engines of war. But they of Bethshura came out and burned them with fire, and fought valiantly. So that engines of war, they had great devices of war, even back then, great technological devices of war and great ammunition. But it wasn't enough to take out Israel. The children of Israel were mighty, and they were mighty. They not just pushovers, So the white man thinking that he just gonna, I'm gonna get these people to get this mark. I'm gonna get these people to start starving to death, and get these people to be my slaves again, when it's not like that. He about to run into a total slaughter. It's about to be bad, because they're gonna have 144,000, and they're gonna have Yahawah Bashim Yahushai, his son Yahushai, and they gonna crush this white man and the wicked 2/3. Because, like I said, a lot of people that are our people they are nowhere near ready for the collapse that's coming. It's that big, it's that powerful. to the point to where a lot of people just move on with their life, not knowing what what will be of their life. They not understanding that when they take away your food, they take away the water, they cut off your money, that's it, that's the end. America, like I said, America is like one big ass house. And for some reason, instead of them being the rent man, the other nations are the rent man. They the light man, they the water man, they the gas man. You know what I'm saying? The car notes, you know what I'm saying? All that shit. So when they don't pay up, America don't pay up and do what they gotta do, slowly but surely, they like one big ass house. You get your lights cut off, you get your gas cut off. Um, your trash bill is up, so they take your trash cans, so you don't have anything to store your trash in. All these things come into play. So our people are not ready for that. They depend. You have no idea how much our people depend on the government. They lean on the government. They are relaxed by the government. This is how our people got by for years without going through Yahawah. They too comfortable going through the white man, so they would hate for something to happen to America, especially when they got so much riding on America's futures. They push and they believe that America actually has some sort of future, and it doesn't. America is at its last. Like they said, that you got like 30 to 60 days worth of food left before they completely cut it off. That's how bad the white man wanted to get his new world order, and that's how bad he wants to establish the things that he's going to establish. And he's willing. He knows that, like it says, the kingdom of heaven shall be translated from one people to another. So he knows that. So his time is very short, and the kingdom of heaven is being translated into the hands of the children of Israel. So he's very jealous, he's very angry, and he's going to come down with wrath, and he's going to bring back the same things that are said right here in this book, great engines of war and powerful weapons, but it still wasn't enough to overthrow the children of Israel, the elect, and the 144,000, because they got all their power. They got everything from Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai through his son Yahushai, and they just when the nations thought that they could defeat Israel and slaughter them, they got their ass whooped. So it's really actually one big tactical trap from Yahawah to lure the white man in, because he loves violence, But there's a saying in the Bible: those who kill with the sword must die by the sword. So the same thing that the Most High, that Esau is using to kill people is the same thing that's going to destroy him. And God is just luring them in. It's one big ass trap, like a worldwide big ass trap. Like, I got you, It says, upon this Judas removed from the tower and pitched in Beth-Zaccharis over against the king's camp. Then the king rose very early, marched fiercely with his hosts towards Beth-Zaccharis, where his armies made them ready to battle, and sounded the trumpet. So the same thing is going to be like that. Don't come out of your houses. If you come out of your houses, you will be shot on sight. This is a lockdown. I repeat, don't come out of your houses. You will be shot on sight. This is a lockdown. So they got that sounding trumpet that's going to tell you just how bad the civil unrest is getting, because that's where it's coming to. A lot of people right now are being squeezed financially by the government and by their collapse. The more and more money they run out of, the more and more they squeeze the finances out of the people, because everything is going up. So everything is going up. Everything is getting way more fucking expensive, and it's putting a strain on the people. But the people are, like the Most High said, he sent his scourges for amendment, but they didn't mind the scourges. They didn't mind the plagues. So the Most High, the more and more they didn't mind, the more and more they didn't pay attention to God, our people, the more and more the Most High put that pressure on them until they finally broke. So that's what's going to happen. All them riots and all that chaos is going to come for them being crushed flat by the society that they tried to hold up. Everything that they even went against God to hold up this society, and the Most High still toppled it. still ruined their lives, still bankrupt them, still destroyed them, still took their food out of their mouths because they said bad things about the Most High, His Son, and they made fun of the prophets when the prophets told them. And when the prophets are on the scene like they are now, they're telling you about the end of a civilization. So right now, particularly, the stage of the prophets is being set for them telling you about the end of the world. So the end of the world is here. The end of the world is at hand. And our people, they don't want to listen. So the Most High is gonna be like, well, I'm gonna put this pressure on you until you break. And when you break, it's gonna be hell on earth. It's gonna be destruction. And it's not gonna be a very pretty sight. It's really not. It's actually gonna be pretty terrible. And then they gonna have the collapse, which is coming. It's gonna be during the summer, most likely. I wouldn't be surprised if it lingered, if it didn't start until August. I wouldn't be surprised, but they're estimating the time of the Great Depression during the middle of the summer towards winter. You know what I'm saying? And then onward. We don't even know. You know what I'm saying? Well, we know that America's not going to get back on track, but that's what the people will say. We don't know when they'll get back on track. Maybe 1 year, maybe 2-3 years. No, when something like that happens, when something like that breaks, it cannot be fixed. You know what I'm saying? So something important broke in this car engine, and not a car engine done, man. You just throw it out and replace it with a new one. And that's, Yahawah is a great mechanic, so that's what he's gonna do. He's gonna take this crappy engine out and replace it with a new one. This engine don't work no more. It's the same way with Esau's design, his economics, his world. It doesn't work anymore. Certain things that are broken are so important and so essential to the society and everything that it is. It can't be replaced. It can't be fixed. So now he ready to go to all-out war with the very ones that he put into slavery. He's going to take it out on us, the children of Israel, which is, for you to get prepared for great warfare, because you're going to have to kill some people, and you're going to have to protect yourself. You're going to have to take what you need to feed your kids, and it's even going to get even more difficult with that, because the curses, they being lifted off us, but at the same time, we at the end of it, so the curses are going to go hard. They're going to go hard. If you're not in the Word and you don't know the Most High Yahawah Shem Yahushai, and you don't understand these things, the curses are gonna go hard on you, man. It's gonna be so terrible. It's gonna be so strong. You're gonna regret the day that you did the things that you did. You're gonna regret the day that you made this move. You're gonna regret the day that you had a house. You're gonna regret the day that you had too many kids. You're gonna regret the day that you know what I'm saying, had the cars and all that, because you were so spiritually attached to a world that's passing away. And you didn't listen to God's laws. You didn't listen to what God told you to do, I mean, if you had kids, you had kids. You know what I'm saying? If you had a family, you had family. You fell in love. You had a little, nice home. You had, everything that you wanted. But at the same time, not for the men of the Lord. The men of the Lord, some of the men of the Lord was actually pretty smart and didn't do all those things that God was talking about. Like, don't do that. Because when the end comes, and it actually came pretty quick. When you look back, you know what I'm saying, throughout your whole life, it might have took some time, but this shit went by pretty fast. So, when you understand the Bible, you understand the word of Yahawah. A lot of us that travel light, that was the smartest thing you can ever do. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing that you don't want happening is that you lose loved ones and you lose people that you care about during this great collapse. You got to see certain things that really do damage to the psyche if you don't have Yahawah protecting you. You know what I'm saying? These demonic spirits that the Most High is about to let loose on the world is detrimental, man. They so detrimental. They so powerful. They can destroy you, Because just by you seeing the shit that you're not supposed to see, that shit gonna fuck you up, man. And you gotta understand how strong and the great wrath that's coming upon our people for them not listening. It's only gonna get worse. You got people that's for doomsday preppers that's trying to get ahead of us. Oh, I got 2, 3 year, 4 years worth of food. Oh yeah? Well, the Most High may have it to where you die and somebody take your food. That's exactly how it's gonna go. You got greedy ass people that's getting far ahead, and you got the rest of the people that don't even want to pay attention to what's coming. They don't accept the truth. They like their daily life the way it is. or some people want to be comfortable to the end, which is a dumb, very foolish. You know what I'm saying? Very stupid. If I were you, I would go back to Yahawah. If I were you, I would repent. If I were you, I would pray. Maybe it be well with you that the Lord protect you and your family, that your baggage won't be so heavy to carry, because Yahweh can make it like that to where you don't have to, it don't have to be so heavy for you to carry, because it's gonna get bad out here. It's really gonna get bad out here when these people start rioting. You know what I'm saying? And I had a dream about the riots, that a lot of racism was going on, a lot of clashing was going on, a lot of fighting was going on, not just between the whites and the children of Israel and Edom, between each other too. It was niggas robbing each other, beating up each other, people killing each other. It was the Jakes against Jakes too. It looked hella confusing. It was not only racism, but it was our people fighting against each other, And then you had the people that was pretending that nothing was happening, that it was just another day. You have people like that be walking down the street like everything's fine, in the middle of all this damn chaos. It don't look fine to me, and they could just walk across the street and get hit by a burning bus or something like that. Those examples that the Most High is gonna make for you to get your ass out the way. Those of us that know the word, as soon as we see the first signs of the riots cracking off, which they will happen, it will happen. We getting the hell out of here. I'm getting the hell out of here. Whether I'm by myself or with a couple of people, I'm the type of motherfucker that's always been on this self journey. You know what I'm saying? So, you'd be surprised. Okay, when the end come, you got to see where everybody hearts stand. You know what I'm saying? You got to see who these people are, and so when the end come, they're gonna reveal their true emotions. A lot of people you're gonna see them take their stand in the lots that they belong in. You really gonna see this shit, and the people that say that they down, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna see them, whether they gonna be riders to the end or they gonna change. You're gonna see a lot of people that's gonna break down, not have no understanding of why things are going on. And you're trying to get away in the midst of all of this. Don't trust me. Tribulation ain't no fucking joke, especially if you don't have a car. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta run through this shit, or you can't use your car and you gotta run through this shit. So this is what was happening in the war. Sorry to go off so much, but just to get your mindset on this destruction and this war that's coming, is the doing it to the best of my abilities. Like one of the prophets said earlier. You should be doing the work, man. Tell them niggas what's going on, because there's a lot of shit that's going on, and I'm not the person to sugarcoat it for you. You got to get up. You got to do the work. If niggas don't, there's more to it. You know what I'm saying? If niggas don't do the work, they won't live, man. Faith without works is dead, man. A lot of people has been put marks on, and you don't want to be the person that got that mark put on them for death. So it says, moreover, they divided the beast. It says, the king rose very early and marched fiercely with his host towards Beth-Sakaris, where his enemy made them ready to battle, and sounded the trumpets, and to the night, to the end they might provoke the elephants to fight. They showed them with blood of grapes, shewed them the blood of grapes and mulberries. Moreover, they divided the beast among the armies. And for every elephant they appointed 1,000 men, armed with coats of mail, and with helmets of brass on their heads. And beside this, for every beast were obtained 500 horsemen of the best. So right now, that's exactly what's happening. The Bible tell you from past, present, to future. But there's nothing new under the sun. So the same thing that happening right here is what's happening right now. This white man is getting the best of the best ready. The strongest army, the best guns. You know what I'm saying? Putting all his money towards his nuclear bombs. Getting all kind of genetics ready. All kind of machinery you ain't never seen before. Setting up his drones. You're gonna have little Tycho RC drones with AKs on them. Little Tycho RCs with bombs that'll just drive into your house and blow your ass up. You got well set bazookas. You know, the white men don't got no problem with using heavy artillery that was meant to take down big ass tanks and ships on people. You know, so it's a lot of shit that's a lot about to break loose during these times. It says these were ready at every occasion. It says wheresoever the beast was, and whithersoever the beast went, they also went. Neither they departed from him. See? So the Bible is telling you, when you read the Bible and you have that spiritual understanding, it'll really get you prepared. For people that don't understand, when they finally figure it out at the end, it's gonna scare the shit out of them. Like, all of this Bible was word for word. How come we just didn't listen? It's because you thought that this life was better. That's exactly what you thought. You doubted the men of the Lord, and the Most High finally caught up to your ass. Ooh, that's bad. That's a terrible fate. It's a terrible thing to end up in the hands of Yahawah, man. Because the Most High is going to bend you to his will, man. It says that upon the beasts were the strong, it says, towers of wood, which covered every one of them, and with girt fast unto them with devices. There were also upon everyone 230 strong men. They fought upon them beside the Indian that ruled him. It says, as for the remnant of the horsemen, they set them on the side, and that side at the two parts of the host, giving them signs what to do, and being harnessed over all the midst, all over the midst, no over, no all over midst the ranks. So these beasts with these elephants and all that, and the towers on the elephants, they can actually represent now today. Even though they use actual beasts back then, now today they're using tanks and shit. Now when the sun shone upon the shields of gold brass, the mountains glistered therewith and shine like lamps of fire. So part of the king's army being spread upon the high mountains, and part on the valleys below, it says they marched on safely in order, where for all that heard the noise of their multitude and the marching of the company and the rattling of the harness were moved, for the army was very great and mighty. So that's what's coming. When they tell you got like 8 hours or 4 hours to start riding and for the city to lock down, this is our cue, which those of us that believe in Yahweh Shem Shai, to escape, run and hide. Now, the Most High is going to be with me in the spirit, because I ain't got no forest to run and hide in out here, man. I got to find somewhere that I'm going to be hidden, which, well, it won't be too hard in the midst of everybody trying to grab their resources and stuff. I'm going to have a head start, you know. So the Most High is he's very spiritual. The Bible is the game plan, and it keeps you 1,000 times ahead of your enemies. And you let the Most High do the rest. That's exactly what's going to happen. So the Most High is going, if he working with you like that, he's going to keep you ahead of your enemies. Because when these martial law troops come in, when these armies come in, you know what I'm saying, they are going to lock the entire shit down. And I'm going to be in hiding, eating, you know what I'm saying, eating my little apples and reading my Bible and listening to all the gunfire and all those screams. Because you're going to hear the whole city scream. Everything going to be burning up. People going to be going to war with the army. And they going to die, man. And just as well as the army is going to die, you know. But the true goal is to find the Israelites, to find the elect. Those of us that believe, you know. And it's not going to be good. It's not going to be pretty. This is going to be pretty scary during those times. But the Most High said he going to protect me. So I'm going to trust in the Lord. I'm going to trust in Yahawah. Because that's like the Lord say, don't be afraid. Don't be scared. God got me, you know. Even if I didn't get the spiritual power, you know what I'm saying, the Lord said, I still got you. So, you know, I'm not going to worry about nothing. I'm going to enjoy it, and I'm going to watch it like one big movie and pop some popcorn and laugh at these people, because the Ben was coming to their ass and they didn't listen. They didn't care. So why should I feel sorry for a bunch of people that don't even care? You never cared about the word. You wasn't worried about Yahawah until Yahawah rolled on you and let them demons out on you, and these demons destroyed you, because that's exactly what these martial law truths is. That's exactly what the white man is. They're a bunch of demons, and they about to roll on our people. They even gonna kill a lot of their own. And like they said, they were eating and drinking and knew it not, and marrying until the flood came and took them away, man. And that's exactly what's about to happen. As in the days of Noah, so too shall it come to the Son of Man. So this is what's going to happen. This is what is written in the Bible. And these people, they undermine Yahawah. They undermine the Lord. They don't care about the Bible. They don't care about the things that are about to take place. They not worried about it. They not worried about tomorrow. I am worried, even though like the Most High say, don't worry about tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? But because tomorrow's not promised to you, that's true. But the Most High does teach you how to be circumspect and look ahead. So we like months ahead of these people. These people worried about today. Nigga, we looking at 2-3 months from now, you know? We're looking at a year from now. Because it's going to take some time before the Most High come back and save us. But these things are going to come to play rather quickly. But that's, in the spiritual sense, that's where the Most High got us. We already at the martial law. We already at the collapse of the cities. We already at the lockdown. We already at that point to where we got to run and hide. We're spiritually there. You know what I'm saying? The Most High got us bulked up and ready and trained for all this. This is exactly what the prophets got us ready for. This shit is about to really happen, and our people don't care. But the Most High say, I know the people that do care, you know, that do care. And you got all these kind of weird sightings and shit. Or not weird sightings, but you got the chariots. They are at a high level right now. I have seen some tonight, and it was like 7 to 8 of them. And I'm like, there's no way that those choppers can move that fast. I thought they was helicopters, but they wasn't. There was like 7 to 8 chariots, and it was moving. And I guess before I can whip my phone out, they hit that light speed, and it was gone, man. They flew behind a tree, and they shot somewhere else, you know. But it's just to say that the chariots are watching. Yahawah is watching, and you know Yahawah is really watching his people, and his people ain't changed. They ain't worried about it. They not even paying attention. They don't look up. They just do whatever the fuck they want. And these armies are getting ready. They're getting ready to destroy this place, man. It says, then Judas and his hosts drew near and entered into battle, and there were slain of the king's army 600 men. Eleazar also, surnamed Severin, perceived that one of the beasts armed with a royal harness was higher than all the rest, and supposed that the king was upon him, put himself in jeopardy to the end he might deliver his people and get him a perpetual name. It says, wherefore he ran upon him courageously through the midst of the battle, slaying at the right hand and on the left, so that they were divided from him on both sides. So that's the 144,000. They the ones that's gonna be able to cut through the military. They gonna be the ones that's gonna destroy these wicked men, and they're gonna have the power to do so. They're not even gonna need guns or nothing. They're not gonna need nothing. They're gonna have a mastery of the elements, and that mastery of the elements is a real thing. If the Most High puts his spirit in you and allows his spirit to connect with your body, you can do some awesome shit. You know what I'm saying? Because back in the days when we had that divine power, back in the days in the beginning, you know what I'm saying? We had that divine power to where we was connected to the higher power, and we were like, we were unto like gods on the earth. That's why the Most High say, are ye not gods? The Most High is looking at us weird, like, why y'all over here obeying and worshiping the white man and worshiping these wicked idols and going against me when you are like me? You know what I'm saying? The Almighty, Yahawah Bashim Yahushai, is the Almighty. He is God, the uppercase God. And the Most High said, I had children, I made them. You know what I'm saying? Yahawah Shai made you guys on my behalf, and you guys are lower gods, lowercase gods. So the Most High is looking at His people weird, like y'all pretending to be something that y'all not. You guys are not men. You guys are not Edomites. You guys are not just black people. You guys are the children of. You guys are the Israelites. You guys are my children, and y'all not acting godlike. Y'all acting carnal. Y'all acting like beasts of the earth. It's actually pretty embarrassing. You know what I'm saying, for the Most High to see our people in this condition. But it's all through the design and the plan. But for our people not even to notice, the things that's going on in the stars and to even look up, it's just sad. And every now and then I look up most of the time on occasions I look up in the sky. So whenever I'm outside I look up in the sky. I happen to go and check my car out, and when I looked up I seen like 7-8 lights, and they was flying so fast I thought they was helicopters. Hell no, they ain't helicopters. Hell no, they was flying way too fast. I'm like, those are not helicopters. And there was actually chariots of the Most High, and then Most High put that spirit on you to allow you to see certain things, and that's also a part of spiritual, small scale spiritual power. He can give you the eyes to see and the ears to hear. Why everybody else can't see, why everybody else don't hear, you can see and you can hear, and that's just the Most High in a form and way, keeping my butt on my toes, and keeping me circumspect and paying attention, because these times are near, and the Most High, these chariots are really showing themselves more vividly, but you gotta have the spirit to see them. Other than that, you're not gonna see them. You're not gonna pay attention to them. You're not even gonna know they're there. You're not. It says, wherefore he ran upon him courageously through the midst of the battle, slaying on the right and slaying on the left, so they were divided from him on both sides. Which done, he crept under the elephant and thrust him under and slew him. Wherefore the elephant fell down upon him, and there he died. Howbeit the rest of the Jews, seeing the strength of the king and the violence of his forces, turned away from them. Then the king's army went up to Jerusalem to meet them, and the king pitched his tents against Judah and against Mount Zion. But with them they were in Bethsura he made peace, for they came out of the city because they had no victuals there to endure the siege, it being the year of rest to the land. So the king took Bethsura and set it on garrison there to keep it. As for the sanctuary, he besieged it many days, and set their military with engines and instruments to cast fire and stones, and pieces to cast darts and slings, whereupon they also made engines against their engines, and held them a long season. Yet at the last their vessels being without victuals, for that it was the 7th year, and they in Judea, they were delivered from the Gentiles, had eaten up the residue of the store. It says, there were but a few left in the sanctuary, because the famine did so prevail against them that they were fain to disperse themselves, every man to his own place. See, and that's exactly what's happening now. It says, at the time Lysias heard say that Philip, whom Antiochus the king, whiles he lived, had appointed to bring up his son Antiochus, the same thing, that he might be king, was returned out of Persia and Media, and the king host also that went with him, and that he sought to take unto him the ruling of the affairs. Wherefore he went in all haste, and said to the king and the captains of the hosts and the company, we decay daily, and our victuals are but small, and the place we lay siege unto is strong, and the affairs of the kingdom lie upon us. Now therefore let us be friends with these men, and make peace with them, and with all their nation, and covenant with them, that they shall live after their laws as they did before. For they are therefore displeased, and have done all these things because we abolished their laws. Exactly, because the Greeks tried to change the laws of the Judites, and Judah wasn't having it, and they would rather die than to go against Yahawah. It says, so the king and the princes were content. Wherefore he said unto them to make peace, and they accepted thereof. Also the king and the princes made an oath unto them, whereupon they went out of the stronghold. Then the kings entered into Mount Zion. But when he saw the strength of the place, he brake his oath that he had made, and gave a commandment to pull down the walls round about. Afterwards he departed in all haste. No, he in all haste, and returned to Antiochia, where he found Philip to be master of the city. So he fought against them and took the city by force. So he was scandalous. He did the same thing that he all Esau always do. Esau always talk about, the white man always talk about peace. I'm gonna make peace. I won't hurt thee. But when he saw the certain things that he saw and certain things that he desired, he just said, "Fuck it. I'm just gonna kill all the Jews, and I'm gonna take what they got." And that's exactly what Esau did, and that's exactly what he gonna do right now during these times and these days that's coming. Fuck it, I'm gonna just take over. Since I'm running out of time, I'm just gonna take over and make them bend to the new world order. That's just what it is. First, he promised that he wasn't gonna make things mandatory. You know what I'm saying? First, he was promising you that that you guys will have food, that you guys will have water. He was gonna promise you that, you know, that you guys would stay with money, and all that shit was a bunch of fucking lies, man. It's going on to a different chapter. And with that, I'm gonna close out. You know, the whole deal is to get you ready, not to also be into your Bible. You know what I'm saying? And those of you that haven't read it, read these books. Read the Bible and the Apocrypha, which are this Bible. The Apocrypha is canon to the Bible. It's a part of the Bible. So, you know, just read the book and get into it. Get ready for war. Get ready for mass death. Get ready for great chaos. You know, pray to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. In the name of Yahushua, they have mercy on our spirits, and that he protect those of us that do believe. You know, don't wait till the last minute. Don't be lazy. Don't try to not consider the warnings and the things that our prophets, a great millstone, are saying, and the brothers that's warning your ass to get you to prepare and get you to pray. Because if you don't, you'll be just like everybody else. When we run past you, you're gonna be dead and laid out on the ground. You're gonna be asleep with the rest of them. So, shalom.